Good day and welcome to the demo of our web-based portal of Signhost. My name is Marielle, Product Specialist at Evidos, and I'll explain to you in 10 minutes what a digital advanced signature is and how it can make a difference in your organization. I will also explain to you how the flow will go of a signing request, from sending out to the part of receiving the handled document. After the demo, you will have sufficient knowledge to start directly with a trial account. Evidos is the parent company behind Signhost, which is specialized in digital identity. At the foundation of Signhost, this has played a major role since the demand to fully digitalize the sign flow is closely related with the digital identity of the signer. Where it used to be customary to scan a signature, Signhost offers the possibility for all kinds of companies to get documents signed with a digital advanced signature. The transaction receipt, which is included when the document is fully signed, contains all the information concerning the burden of proof. With that, your company is standing strong when it comes to the closed agreements. Signhost offers a simple and legally valid alternative, which also will lower the costs. With our service, you can sign a document simply and quick digitally with a legal guarantee. So let's get started and log in with our account. After you are logged in, Signhost will automatically open a new transaction to send a document which you want to be signed. A transaction is a sign request where you can upload one or more documents which need to be signed by one or more signers. To secure the digital identity of the sign request, you need to give up the mail address of the signer, because he marked down the IP address together with the timestamp of the occurred activities, like opening the document and signing it. To be more certain about with who you are dealing with, you can choose additional verification methods like SMS, iDeal, or IDIN. Curious about the differences and which verification methods suit your organization best? You can email us with the questions via info@evidos.nl. Now that the digital identity of the signer can be determined, there is also to decide which kind of form of volition you would like to apply. For example, when the signer needs to approve the content of the document, we advise you to turn on the scribble function. You can turn the scribble off when you need the document signed by a colleague, someone who needs to sign documents more often. Attention! The digital advanced signature is not only the scribble that the signer will place on the document, but the whole of the secured identity, volition, and burden of proof. At Evidos, you are secured that the signed documents are legally valid along the European legislation of today. You can also set up other options. You can find those options below the icon Extension. Here you can fill in the name of the user that will be visible when the signer places the scribble. Also, you can mark down if the name should be modifiable or not. The second option is to send the sign request automatically through the Signhost server to the mailbox of the signer, or you can get the sign request signed on location, for example the office. You can look up the differences on our support page. We also provide the option to add extra signers to the sign request. During this demo, we will use one signer to keep it more clear in this video. Thereafter, we are ready to add one or more documents to this sign request. The Signhost server will only accept documents which are in PDF format, that optionally can be fillable. During this demo, we use document that's not fillable. Since we decided earlier on to send the sign request through a mailbox invite, the message field can be filled in. A message which the signer will see when opening the email. Attention, you can only put text in the field. Would you like to get more information about fine-tuning the invite mail? I refer you to our support page. See down below. In addition To the previous, it is also possible to provide the document with a hallmark or to send a document in order to the signers or that they will receive the sign request all at the same time. Does your document consist multiple pages and would you like to provide it with initials? With the use of the checkbox below, other options, the scribble of the signer will also be used as an initial on every page of the document. When you push the button Send, the transaction will be sent directly to the signer's mailbox. Please pay attention that everything in the portal is set up correctly, because once you send it, you cannot adjust the document or the mail address. All the created transactions you can retrieve in the overview. On the basis of different criteria, it is possible to find a certain transaction, where you can also see the details of that transaction. For example, are you curious how it stands with a certain sign request? Through the details, you can directly see what the status is and who had already signed the document. At the details, you can find a transaction ID, which is useful when you need support during or after a transaction is signed. Consult us via support@evidos.nl or by the chat. Besides that, there's also other important matters to look up, like who did not sign yet, how or what activities already took place. In this example, you can see that the signer opened the document twice to read the content but hasn't signed yet. Now let's switch to the role of the signer. We can find the sign request in the mailbox of the signer. You can see that the email starts with the personal text from the offering party of the document, and after that you'll see a standardized text from Evidos, like information about the transaction itself and the link to open and sign the document. The signer doesn't need an account to use Evidos. He or she just needs to use the link in the email to open and see the document. When they agree with the content of the document, they can sign it digitally. When the signer doesn't approve the content of the document, they can refuse the transaction by using this button. The signer is sent to another page to fill in the reason of the refusal and click again to make the refusal final. When this happens to you as an offering party of the document, you will be sent an email with the reason of the refusal of the signer. The sign request will be cancelled automatically. When you approve the content of the document, you can use the button Next. In the next screen, it is possible to fill in your name, but only when the offering party has specified this option as modifiable. Now it's time to place a scribble. In the message field below, it is possible to put in a scribble. Therefore, you can use the mouse, touchpad of a laptop, or another touch device like a tablet or smartphone. When you're satisfied with the scribble, you can make it final to click on this button. Congratulations! You've successfully signed the document. Now back to the role of the offering party. When the sign request is fully signed, all the parties will receive an email to download the signed document and a transaction receipt. When you look at the mailbox of the offering party, you'll see that they received two separate mails from Signhost.com. The first mail contains the signed document and the second mail contains the transaction receipt. All the parties will receive these emails. We advise you to download the received documents and store it in your own folders. You can also print the documents, but the documents have more value when you store them digitally, given the digital stamp, which will be lost if you print them. With the use of Adobe Acrobat Reader, you can look up the digital stamp. We recommend the use of this program to view the digital signed documents and the transaction receipt. When we go back to the Signhost portal to look up the transaction, we see that the status of the transaction is changed to signed. When you click on the Details button, you'll see the transaction details, which we also saw on the received transaction receipt. Besides that, it's also possible to download the documents and the transaction receipt on the detail page of the signed transaction. This possibility to download will be given till 14 days after the request is signed. Congratulations! You've successfully run through your first transaction. I hope I've given you a good impression of our digital signing service and the Signhost portal. Via the link below, you can apply for a trial account, which will be valid for 14 days. Our support team is here to help you out if there are any questions about our service, technical matters, or when you want to choose a package. On behalf of the whole team of Evidus, I would like to thank you for your time and interest. Have a nice day.